very nice chap, mashallah, you know. Just early today at work we were talking about hidden treasures, and my first time ever I came over here, I saw this place, I didn't know it existed, and I've seen some really good work. I mean, people think about, when we talk about gems, something really special, you think something really big, prestigious, etc. But it's not like that as well. You know, when I came over here and I saw the vision that Inzy has and the work that he's doing in the communities, you know, we said take a hats off to it as well, you know, and all you young people who come over here see this day in, day out as well, and this is what we need to do to develop as well. And also, you're going to be the pride of the community that lives over here as well, you know. So well done to yourselves as well, you know. Today is a partnership event with West Yorkshire Police, Fire Service and Ambulance Service. Anybody know what's going to happen recently coming up so shortly? Key dates, key events taking place? Bonfire, anything else? Halloween, yeah. What usually happens in that time? What usually happens at the time? Fireworks. What else? We're not saying fireworks is bad, right? Yeah. But if things are done, managed properly, then it's enjoyable. But when things don't happen as they should do, can cause a bit of problem as well. So hopefully with West Yorkshire Police here, the Fire Service, Ambulance Service, there'll be some little bits of lessons to be learned as well, and things that how we can enjoy the days themselves better as well. So I've got a number of people who want to speak today as well, and I'll call them one by one. So first person is Usman from Dixon's. You want to come up and say something?
Assalamu alaikum and good evening everyone. Thank you very much for calling us out this evening. My name is Amjad Usman Amjad. I'm a teacher at one of the Dixons and head of year as well. I'm not actually from Bradford, but I came to study in Bradford about 4.5 years ago when I did my degree at Bradford University. I spent about 2 years here living here, and then ever since then I've been working here for the last 4.5 years. So I've spent about 6.5 years, the last 6-7 years in Bradford. Now before I came to Bradford, Bradford had a lot of stereotypes, prejudice, and lots of ideas about Bradford, that young Bradford boys are these boys who all they care about is fast cars and women and all that sort of stuff, and flashy watches and flashy trainers and tracksuits and all that sort of stuff. And I was also told that Bradford is a very, very tense place where you've got different communities in different areas and nobody likes to mix and stuff. When I actually started to work here and started to study here, I realised that Bradford is an absolutely amazing place to work, and that's why I've worked here so long and enjoy working here a lot. My heart is in Bradford. I've made lots of friends here, and my work is here as well, and I absolutely love working here. And the main reason everyone is here today is for you guys, the youth, the youngsters, yeah? And it's about us trying to invest back in the youth. If our elders, our parents and our people in our communities didn't invest in us, we wouldn't be here today. And that's why it's important that we also invest in the youth. And like the brother mentioned about hidden treasures, you are all hidden gems, right? I genuinely mean this when I talk about the youth of Bradford. They are confident, yeah, you've got that confidence about you, maybe a bit of arrogance, but it's a positive thing, and not afraid to back down. And these are qualities that are needed for you to be successful in life. Respect is one of the biggest things, and talking about discipline, and we're in a boxing gym here, yeah? And discipline is the biggest thing, and working hard is very, very difficult, right? And in life, at times we think that everything should be easy. If you ask any fighter, yeah, anyone who's successful, Dillian White, these guys who are fighting, I was listening to one of his interviews recently, and they always say camp is the hardest thing, and the fight is easy. Camp is hard because it's the struggle, the grind, the day-to-day waking up on time, they're making sure you're training hard. And people, a lot of boxers, they don't enjoy camp. Sometimes they don't enjoy it because of how tough it is. And if they haven't enjoyed it, that tells them they've had a very good camp. And the fight they find easy because it's a one-off event. And in life, people who have been successful, someone who's climbed Mount Everest, if you ever ask someone who's climbed Mount Everest, was it enjoyable? He's probably not going to say it was enjoyable, but he has achieved something. And in life in general, when we want to be successful, it can be hard. And having that discipline is very difficult. Now we've got these events coming up, Bonfire Night, Halloween, the one that used to be called Mischief Night, and the rest of it. And a lot of the time the youth, they get themselves involved in things that are probably not the right thing to be doing. You're blessed that you have this gym. I'd never had anything like this as a youngster. I would have loved to have come to something like this. This place is absolutely amazing. You can get yourselves in here. Sometimes we are stressed, sometimes we're angry, and sport is the best thing for it. Now, as a science teacher, I can't leave without mentioning a little bit of science. When you exercise, there's a hormone that's released in the body which is called endorphins. And these endorphins actually are, it's like a drug. It makes you happy, it makes you feel good. So when you exercise, these hormones are released, and it's good for your mental health and your mental state. When it comes to respect, guys, we all have a responsibility to ourselves, to our community. And as a head of year, whenever I speak to my students, the first thing I say is learn to respect yourself. Because if you don't respect yourself, you can't respect anyone else. And what is self-respect? Self-respect is that you conduct yourself in a manner which is befitting of your name and who you are. And conducting yourself in a manner of where you've come from, your family, your community, your culture, your religion, whatever it is. And integrity is the biggest thing. I don't need somebody on my head to tell me this is the right thing and the wrong thing to do. I do it because it's the right thing to do. Okay? And we shouldn't need it. That in the gym one day we're messing about with cut corners, but when coach is here or when someone that elders here, then we're a completely different person. Integrity is about doing the right thing at the right time. And there's a story that I wanted to mention. Many times we get ourselves into conflict, we get ourselves into issues with each other, and it leads from one small thing into a big, big thing. Now, in the time of the Prophet, peace be upon him, there was two companions of the Prophet, peace be upon him, and one was called Abu Dharr al-Ghafari radiallahu ta'ala an, and another was Hazrat Bilal. We know, many of us know Bilal, the one who was the one who used to call to pray in the time of the Prophet ﷺ. Now, Hazrat Bilal was very black. Okay, his colour was very black, and he was an Abyssinian slave. And once they were having a discussion about, what they were going to do in the community and their ideas, and Hazrat Bilal came up and he mentioned a point, and Abu Dharr al-Ghafari didn't like his point. So his response was, even you, the son of a black slave, even you are going to disagree with me? Very big words, yeah? Very offensive words. And he was upset. So what did he do, Hazrat Bilal? Did he say, right, come on, let's deal with this outside, let's do something about it? No, he had self-respect and he had self-discipline. He went to the Prophet, peace be upon him, sallallahu alayhi wasallam, and he said to the Prophet, he said, "Oh Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wasallam, this is what's happened, this is what he said to me, and he's really hurt me." Now in our day and age, what would we call that person? A snitch, a snake, yeah? Someone who was a snitch, or he grassed me up, what a snitch. Snitches get stitches, that's the one I hear all the time, yeah? But these people didn't have those diseases in the heart. They were people who had honor, self-discipline, they had self-respect, and they just wanted to fix things. The Prophet, peace be upon him, went to Abu Dharr and he grabbed him, yeah? And he said to him, you are a person who still has ignorance inside you, right? And everyone loved the Prophet. So imagine your father, yeah? My father passed away 2.5 years ago, may Allah give him paradise. And I miss it all the time when he used to tell me off or tell me something. When your father catches you doing something, those of us who are still blessed to have our fathers, the shame you feel. Forget about whether you're in trouble or not, or the consequence. Just that shame that you feel. So imagine when it was the Prophet, peace be upon him, and he said to him, you still have ignorance inside you. So what did he do, Abu Dharr? Did he call his boys and say, get my cousins, and my uncles, dads, whoever, and we're all going to go and deal with him? No, he went to him, and he said, oh Bilal, I will put my face on the ground, and you can step on my face and show it to the people who is the honoured one and who is the dishonoured one. He understood his mistake, he accepted his mistake, and he went and apologized. What did Bilal say? Right, this is my opportunity, shall I give him one? Yeah? Shall I stamp on his face? No. He said, you don't need to do anything, you're forgiven, it's done, khalas, and that was the end of it. They didn't have these grudges that we hold today, and that's the problem, many problems that we have in our community. Somebody looks at me different and I want to spark him and smash his face in. Somebody does this and I've got an issue with someone, yeah? But these people didn't have these diseases in their heart, and these are the people that we look up to. So bringing it back to what we think about self-discipline, self-respect, they're really, really important characters of any human, man or woman, who wants to be successful in life. No person has become successful without being respectful. No person has become successful without being disciplined and, being respectful to everyone. So to finish, you're very blessed to have this boxing gym. Make the most of it. The people who have set this up, may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala bless you all and put barakah in everything you do. And I hope it becomes even more successful. And you never know, maybe we have someone who comes out of this gym who can make it to the big time, and you never know, that is the aspirations that we always have, that we have somebody who can represent us from this local community. And remember, on these nights, stay safe. The last message I'll just want to clearly say is, the police, the ambulance, we are very, very, very blessed to have the services that we have in this country. 572,000, more than 500,000 people in America every single year become bankrupt because of medical fees, because they got cancer, because they got diabetes, because they became ill, illnesses that were not even their fault. And there's no system in America like there is in this country. The NHS is probably the best in the world. We all pay taxes. If you get injured, you're covered, but not in other places. Yeah, 500,000 people have become bankrupt. And the police service, the fire service, we're very, very blessed with the people that we have and the services we have in this country. Remember to respect them. They deserve our respect. They deserve honour. And they deserve us not to waste their time. On these nights, if you look at the statistics and the figures, the amount of crime, the increase, and the police have to be in places when they could be saving someone's life, when they could be at a robbery or maybe an attack where they could have stopped something. Instead, the kids messing about with fireworks, throwing them into people's gardens, which is very dangerous, yes, but we could have prevented that. And same with the ambulance services. Yeah, imagine it was your family member. You know, my grandfather, may Allah give him shifa, he's suffering from dementia and Alzheimer's. I imagine if he dropped and the ambulance needed to come and they were late because they had to deal with, a firework incident. How would I feel? How would you feel? So, as people, we respect ourselves first, and then we respect the people around us. And one final, I keep saying final message, just remember this. When people care about you, they definitely deserve your respect. Don't forget, all these people around you here, they care about you. The police, the ambulance services, the fire services, they all very, very much care about you. So ensure that you do show them respect. Again, just a massive thank you for inviting me. I feel privileged to be able to speak in front of you all, and I wish you all the best for the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Brother Usman, for that message. It's a beautiful message as well. I think there's some key points that he meant, Brother Usman mentioned there as well, and mainly to do with respect, aspirations, how yourselves deal with it, in terms of yourselves as the characters. A beautiful example he gave as well. You all have parents. Before you go to sleep at night, they're there for you, they pray for you. In the morning when you wake up, they're there for you as well. And one thing that what they want is your success for yourselves, to be the aspiration, to be the light of what they wanted you to be as well, and that comes with responsibility yourselves as well. And places like this as well, where you've been taught things like respect, honour, dignity, etc. These are things that you have to build inside you, as your own traits as well. Brother Usman mentioned about the ambulance service. I'm going to just call Brother Imran to come and have a few minutes with yourselves and address to yourselves.
Right, Assalamu alaikum people. My name's Imran. I've worked for the Yorkshire Ambulance Service for 21 years. Not going to take much of your time. Reason I'm here today is just to give you some safety tips and advice on Bonfire Night. Bonfire Night is a busy, very busy night for us guys. The calls get doubled. All I want you to be aware of is fireworks are dangerous. Yourselves, kids, do get carried away and start throwing fireworks, but it's very dangerous. Now, I've been to quite a few incidents on Bonfire Night, but one particular incident I remember, it was a fire that wasn't organised, and some little kid threw an aerosol into the fire, and what happened? It blew up. He got burnt, okay, left him scarred for life, and also he lost his vision. So things like this, obviously, for yourselves, is not going to help, okay, and you're not going to benefit. So please stay safe out there. Again, if you are going to go to any firework displays, go to ones that are organised and there's people there. Make sure when you're sort of using fireworks, don't light them up. Stay away when you light them up. Arm length. Make sure they're not in your pocket. Kids stay away from it as well. Little babies, animals are put away. But just stay safe out there. That's the main thing. You don't want to end up in hospital, do you? So I'm not going to take much of your time. got my little girl to pick up. So that's enjoy and stay safe. Okay. All right, yeah.
That was a quick round, wasn't it? We're round 3 now. Next person I want to call on have a little chat with yourself is again somebody who we look up to as well, and I actually do look up to him. He's about 6 foot something like that. Cameron. But again, a local resident who I think most of your family will know him as well. Key important message that he can give to yourselves as well, and people like your families will know as well, and something that you take on board as well. You know. Like I
said, look, Rizwan's always far too kind, and I'm not going to go into how kind he is, but look, I think there was a very passionate speech by the young man, the teacher from Dixon's, Usman, and honestly, it was genuinely a how can I basically put it? It was I was going to say put together, but I was actually going to say it was actually a very inspiring speech, and it was something that I think we all can maybe learn something from, especially the story in relation to Rasulullah sallallahu alaihi wasallam. I think that's a very key lesson in there as well. So I'm very grateful for that. Look, guys, I'll start off with a story. I'll share you my personal experience first, right? I was approximately 11 years old, and me and my friends, on exactly Bonfire night on 5th of November, we were out playing, and we thought it's a joke, we thought it's a laugh, we thought we'd go around, have a joke, and we ended up buying some bangers from the shops, and at that time, which is illegal. Look, we're 10 years old, they're not supposed to be selling us bangers, but we ended up getting those bangers, and whilst we had one of those bangers, now we were 10-year-old kids, we didn't know how to use bangers. One of my friends lit the banger up, and he had it in his hand, and he's looking at it, saying, what shall I do with it? Trust me, it's very, very frightening. So he tried to throw it away, but unfortunately he had actually blown up in his hand. Now, the guy's in front of me sitting there, and he's got his hand all splattered open. There's nothing, you can't even see a single bone. The only thing you can see is flesh all coming down here. Right, now I was a 10-year-old kid, completely afraid, didn't know what the hell to do. So I started running around, and I managed to find this elder who was obviously around on the street, and I said to him, look, my friend's just blown up his hand. So anyways, it took me out of my personal life about 3 to 4 years just to come over that fact. And honestly, up until 16, I never even used to go out on Bonfire night, because that's how much it scared me. And I remember thinking to myself that, look, you can go out there and you think, oh, that's not going to happen to me. That's never going to happen to me. But I'll tell you what, sometimes you can be that unlucky bunch. Sometimes you can be that unlucky person, and that can affect you. So it's important to stay safe and stay away from this. Go to organized Bonfire nights, go with your friends, enjoy yourself, be calm, relaxed. You know, that's what it's there to do. But don't engage in lighting bonfires yourself, lighting fireworks yourself, because that's not for us to do. End of the day, the professional people that are out there that will be doing that, and I'm supposing that the council will also be looking at organising this. But at the same time, look, we have to respect what the police, the fire services and other partners do, the ambulance services. They're all there to protect us. Look, if we're out, if something happens to us, the first people to come that are going to come protect us are going to be these fire services. I've grown up on these streets that all you guys live on today. I've grown up on these streets. I used to go to Wetley Middle School. From Wetley Middle School, I went to Rhodes Way. From Rhodes Way, I ended up going to university. From there, I graduated, and then I qualified as a lawyer, as a solicitor. I've got my own practice as a solicitor, but I moved away from that because I wanted to give back to our community. I wanted to help to give back to our community, and that's why I chose to be elected as a councillor for this local area, because I know what our struggles are here. The struggles that you guys are facing today, those are the same struggles that I was facing 10, 15 years ago. And I want to congratulate, and I think it would be remiss of me if I don't, Inzy, who's set up such a fantastic gym here. At the end of the day, look, if we didn't have this gym around, we never had the opportunity of having gyms like this around. And to be fair, we used to have police boys down there, but I'll be honest with you, police boys was a good setup, but this is a fantastic setup. And look, you've got so much special here. Make it work. And I remember, I'm just going to say, that kid there, I don't know your name, but I've seen your pictures plastered everywhere, right? And look, you are a rising role model for all of these kids, and it's important that you know, show them the way forward. And best of luck anyway, and I hope to see you at the top one day as well, inshallah. Yeah. Thanks a lot.
See, another key message, and something taken from personal experience as well. Like I said, you just imagine, you know, we're here at the boxing gym. What you need your fists, don't you? You need your hands for it. And if you end up with a firework in your hand or blown in your hand and you can't use a hand, how damaging that will be as well.
Just to finish off, by the way, right? And I'm not just saying this. That my friend, till this day, has no hand. Yeah. And that's the God's honest truth today. So for that one little mistake we made, about 15 to 20 years ago, that kid hasn't got a hand anymore. Yeah.
And just imagine what things that he's missing out upon as well, you know, and how damaging, how difficult it will be for him as well. Just next person I'd like to ask to have a little chat with us as well, Raf, the teacher.
Yeah. Okay, so I've just been put on the spot by Inzy. I've just walked in, and firstly I'd like to say what wonderful work he's actually doing in the community. I've had the opportunity to go to school with Inzy. We've been to college together, and like some of you, I used to box at Police Boys. Okay, and we did have lots of opportunities, but it's the opportunities that we actually chose. So the first thing I want to say is every action has a consequence. Okay, so you've got to decide which action you take and whether you want that to be a positive or a negative consequence. So bear that in mind first. Always remember, whatever you do in life will have a consequence. You decide which path you take, which decision you make. Okay, that's the first thing. On the second, coming back to Kamran's point, the fact that I've grown up here, I'm also the chair of the local community centre. So last year we organised an event with the local mosques, and we actually went and patrolled the streets till 12 o'clock at night. Okay, you might not have seen me in the paper, but I was working in school the day when they were actually presenting. But the point is, every single one of you can make a difference. Yeah, that little bit of a difference that you're going to make, whether you walk away from here and go speak to your parents, speak to your friends, it's about educating people. Okay, make people aware of the fact that you can enjoy yourself, but do it the right way. Okay, so going back to Cameron's point about the young boy who's actually got no hand, that's a consequence of a little bit of fun. Okay, at your age, we know you all want to have a little bit of fun. Doesn't mean that when we're older we don't want to have a little bit more fun, but sometimes we think twice. Whereas at your age, some of you don't actually think twice. You think, in the heat of the moment, this is what I'd like to do. Okay? Second thing I'd like to talk about is the fact that you lot are all ambassadors. Whether it's for this gym, whether it's for the community, whether it's for your family, whether it's for, I don't want to bring religion into it, but I'm an RE teacher, whether it's your religion, whether you belong to a faith or not. Okay? Every single one of you is an ambassador. So you can make a difference. Whether it's through your actions, whether what you actually say, or whether what you do. Okay? So going back again to every action has a consequence. Okay? When I don't know if Inzy remembers, when we were in middle school, our deputy head had a poster on there. I still remember that quote right now, and I always actually mention this quote. It's not the chances you take, but the choices you make which determine your destiny. And the bit that I had at the end is choose wisely. So you've got to make those right decisions. Okay? That does not mean don't enjoy it. Go to an organised event. Yeah? Secondly, I'd also like to make another point that Kamran made. Lots of local shops are actually selling fireworks to youngsters. Okay? So like Brother Usman, we used to work together in a school in Westborough, I think he's gone, a long time ago. It's not about snitching. You don't want your younger brother, younger sister being injured. You don't want your younger brother, sister going buying fireworks from somebody. It's illegal. So if you report that, that's not considering you as a snitch. As far as I'm concerned, and lots of the elders and the fire service will say, you're saving somebody's life or saving somebody's hand. Okay? So that in itself could be an action that has a positive consequence. So last bit I want to leave is the fact that every single one of you who actually box in here, it's about the discipline. Okay? So you need to show the same discipline out there in the real world. we're in a WhatsApp group, if I can mention it, where we talk about, we got a reunion, was it 6 months ago? Yeah. So all the middle school reunion, where all of us ended up doing different things. Yeah? Sky's the limit. Nobody in here should think, I can only do so-and-so, I can only do so-and-so. Yeah? Same way that you've got discipline here, you need to have that discipline in your life. But you lot are all ambassadors, every single one of you. And it's your job, whether you have a conversation at home, whether you have a conversation at school, about, over this period, staying safe but enjoying yourself. Okay? So, last bit, actions have consequences. Thank you.
And just to add to that particular point, if you are thinking of going out at night, just remember this: on these very streets, Raf is going to be patrolling these streets at 12 o'clock in the morning with his black overcoat on. So remember that, right?
Brother Raf mentioned really important. One of the important words I mentioned about choices. I think all yourselves here, you all deserve a round of applause as well, because you've chosen to be here as well. So give yourselves a clap as well. Well done to yourself. Like I said, young people out there as well. Again, it's what they do out there that's going to determine themselves as in their character. You made a choice to be here. You've got some guidance here as well. You've got facilities here as well. A very positive choice you made yourself through this. And we go back to what Usman said as well about having this facility, how you can better yourselves through this as well. And ask the police to come and say a few words as well. You know, they'll talk about the consequences of choices as well.
Good evening, guys. How are we doing?
Good evening.
Very good. Right, I've got two versions of the speech. I've got a really long one, or I've got a fairly short one. Which one would you like? Right. So I need in between one. So I need a little bit of audience participation. If I ask you something, you need to give me a response. Okay? Have we got it? Right. So we're sitting here, and we've heard 3, 4 fireworks bangs out there, haven't we? Okay, so I guarantee somewhere within this community around here there'll be somebody sat in their house and just that noise will have such an effect on them that they will be upset at what they're listening to. Okay, and that's just from that out there. Okay, I am a MPT inspector for this area. So, anyone like to hazard a guess at what my job is? What do I need to do?
Keep people safe.
Keep people safe. Okay. So I need to keep people safe and feeling safe. What else do I need to do?
Stop crime.
Stop crime. Awesome. Okay. Attack criminality and provide reassurance. So at this moment in time, I've got loads of officers working, PCSOs working, and they're all out there. They're all going to jobs. So what sort of jobs are they going to now? What might be ongoing? Yeah. Burglaries, thefts, missing children. We deal with lots and lots of mental health, the people at hospitals that have left that need our assistance, and that ties in with all the services. So with my staff that in this area, when I speak to them and mention about fireworks night, every single one of them takes a bit of a sharp intake of breath, you know, of what they've seen and what they've come across. So antisocial behaviour with people thinking they're having a laugh buying fireworks, causing us issues, it stops us getting to those places that we need to be at to find missing children, to help people, to attack crime, to stop crime that's going on. Okay? So people messing around and social behaviour, it stops us being able to do our job. It stops us from helping people. The issue with going 4th or 5th in this speech is that I had loads of material and everyone else has covered it already. But right, who's the best boxer in here? Who is it? Right. How long would it take him to beat me up? About 1 second. Yeah. Right. Why is he such a good boxer?
Trains hard.
Because he trains hard. Okay. What else?
Dedication.
Yeah. Dedication. Yeah. Athlete. Yeah. Has he got quick hands?
Yeah.
Quick reaction.
Good coach.
Yeah. Yeah. Good spatial awareness, so he can hit people and stuff like that. You guys You look up, that's your star, who you want to be in this community, okay? And people in the community look at that, and the reputation of Bradford is fantastic, okay? I've recently come to Bradford, and I love it. I love working here. But the reputation of people messing around, of firing fireworks, of doing stuff like we're doing now out there, it gives a bad reputation for Bradford, okay? This is your town, this is your city, this is your community, okay? You want to be that person there, that person that's been to the Olympics, that person that's a star, that's a role model in the community, okay? And that is by being respectful to your neighbours, yeah? Training hard, being dedicated, and being good athletes, yeah? I've got a similar story with fireworks and fireworks damage, and it's just in relation to a lad that I used to deal with all the time. And he used to burgle houses and he used to steal stuff. And he had one finger on his hand. He was an aspiring sportsman. Yeah, when he was young, he could have been a really, really good footballer. And it's a very similar story to Councillor Cameron's, in that he was messing around with a banger. The banger blew up in his hand and it took off all his fingers. I've seen injuries where fireworks explode and it's like a skeleton left. There's no reconstruction, there's no bringing your hand back together. That one mistake and your dream over there of being that Olympian, being that star, is gone. Okay? Misbehaving for us means that we won't be able to get to those really important jobs that we need to get to. Okay? I'll go back to the point about this being your community and you looking after neighbours. This is your Bradford, this is our Bradford, and it's standing together and it's doing the right thing and making those right choices. Okay? That's the end of my speech. Thank you very much.
Again, another important point about keeping safe as well. Some topical advice. You know, we've got some role models here that you can follow as well. You know, and again, somebody local to yourself at the gym who's here as well, and someone you can look up to as well. Can I ask Abby, do you want to come and quickly say from the fire service as well? And this is another key message as well to yourselves.
Right, assalamu alaikum guys. I'm Abid from West Yorkshire Fire and Rescue Service, and I work at Fair with the Green Fire Station, so thick of the community really. But like everybody else has said, this gym, I had no idea even about it. So I've worked in Girlington, Fair with the Green for about a year now, just over a year, and I never knew about this gym. So the fact that this is going on in here, we didn't know about it, is brilliant. Yeah, so you guys should be really proud of what you've got. My message really is going to be around Bonfire Night. Fire service is one of the busiest nights. Not just a night anymore. So it used to be 5th of November. Now it leads up a week before it and a week afterwards. We are mega busy. Okay, we've got really small amount of fire engines now in the service. Yet we've still got a number of large incidents we go to. So on Bonfire Night, your road traffic collisions, your house fires, your people trapped, all them incidents don't go away. They still exist. They're all still there. So we've got to juggle all them incidents, real life incidents, with what we call nuisance fires. So bin fires, fireworks going off. These sort of little rubbish fires take a fire engine away from a real emergency. So we can't make a call and say, we're not going to go put that bin fire out because we don't fancy doing it. We're just going to sit on station and drink tea. We've got to go to it. Okay, we've got to go to an incident. Now at that same time, if there's a real house fire in Girlington, Allerton, anywhere we cover, you're now going to have to wait for another fire engine to come from a local station. Now you can imagine Bonfire Night, the closest station to us is going to be Odsall, Shipley and Bradford. They're busy with jobs as well. Okay, so now you're talking about Leeds coming into Bradford, Halifax coming into Bradford. So quite a long distance to come to a house fire. You've all probably seen videos at some point of a bedroom on fire or a living room on fire that we've simulated. It takes about 3 minutes for the fire to get fully involved and capture that room. We tend to get to an incident to your guys, someone's house, within 3 minutes. Okay, we can only make it within a couple of minutes. Now imagine we're putting a bin fire out somewhere. It's not about just putting that bin fire out, we've then got to put water back in our tank again, get the fire engine ready again, and then we're available for the next job. So these little jobs that we get over bonfire period, and we get them throughout the year, don't get me wrong, it's not just Bonfire Night. We just tend to get a lot more on Bonfire Night. Now, there's a lot of negative. When I moved to Fairweather Greens, there's a lot of negative stuff I heard about Girlington and all this and all that. And it happens in every area. Every area's got little pockets of issues. But this team of people in here now, you guys, like they've said before, you guys are the ambassadors for the fire service, the police, all these guys. We can't go out and speak to hundreds of people, okay? But I can guarantee you now, the message that you've got from us guys now, if you tell one person and that person tells another person, that person tells another person, you've done a cracking job for us. Better than newspapers, better than any council or anybody in this room. You guys are the ones on the streets. You guys can stop anything happening before it actually happens, just by saying to somebody. Do you know the implications of that? Going back to what everybody has said today, the consequences. And I think it'd be, without telling a story, it'd sort of spoil my speech really. So I'll tell you a real story about a nuisance incident which caused somebody's life, okay, without going into too much detail. So, when I used to work at Bradford Leeds Road, we literally have quite a large Asian community around the station. We got called out to a nuisance bin fire. Okay, somebody had gone to a wheelie bin, set it on fire, and we were called out to it. So we came out of the fire station, we turned left, and went to put the bin fire out. At the same exact time, just probably half a mile from our station, there was a rail house fire. Yeah, and that rail house fire was a bedroom fire. In that bedroom was a small baby. Okay, and you know where this is going to go. Okay, now because we had gone to this bin fire, and because somebody had said it's a bin next to a building, it then increases what goes to it. So if it's a bin fire, one fire engine goes to it. If it's a bin fire next to a building, it then needs more people, because the potential by the time we get to it, it could be the building on fire. Does that make sense? So it needs more fire engines, more resources to it. Because we'd gone to that incident, that little baby had passed away because we couldn't make it. So the next fire engine took 7-8 minutes to arrive to it. Now imagine that was, and I must say, not for 1 minute do I think any of you guys in this room would do anything like that. But just imagine you're conscious of keeping that negative decision you made in your life. We talk about negative and positive. That one negative decision you made in your life, you might not even ever get caught. But do you need to get caught to be able to feel bad for the rest of your life? That you've taken the life. Okay, we all enjoy Bonfire Night. It's an opportunity to go out and have a time with your family, your friends. Nobody in this room is saying don't enjoy it. Okay, what we're saying is just be a little bit responsible. Go out there, keep safe. Yeah, I meet quite a few people. I don't know many of you guys, but I meet quite a few people in this community when I work in Girlington and around this area. And when I got posted Girlington, a lot of people were saying to me, "God, why do you want to go work there for?" I could have gone and worked anywhere, wanted to, and I really wanted to work in here because, firstly, it's my community. Okay, I come from similar backgrounds to you guys. I was brought up in Bradford 3, BD3, similar sort of community, similar area, and there was umpteen opportunities for me to go down the wrong route. Okay, there was I didn't go to private school, I didn't go to university. I finished school with minimum GCSEs, and I could have gone down the route some of my other friends went down, and they were quite negative. Okay, some of these guys are banged up, they don't have jobs, and all the rest of it. Fortunately, I decided to go down the positive route. Okay, and I joined the fire service straight out of school, and I've been there 20 years now. And tell you what, it's the best job in the world. And if you guys ever get the opportunity to join the police, fire, ambulance, any service, go for it. But what you've got here, I didn't get. So I joined this fire service as a 17, 18-year-old, and I had no discipline. Okay, and I soon got it smashed into my head what discipline was. Because in any emergency service, we can't be slack. When there's a job, we can't just be, we'll take our time to it. Okay, we've got to be on the ball. And what these guys, your trainers, your coaches are doing, and this team of people work around you, they're putting that discipline in you now. So when you go out there in the real world, hopefully in the future, you've got that positive attitude, you've got the discipline. There's nothing at all that can stop you guys doing anything you want. So don't ever let anyone next to you or out there say, well, you can't be a lawyer, and you can't be a firefighter, you can't be a policeman because X, Y, and Z, because you live in Girlington or you live in this area. Okay, there's evidence there in the guy, sorry, I forgot your name again. Yeah, he's achieved so much, he's brought this area so high up in every aspect, and just by being disciplined, just by wanting to achieve what he wants to achieve for himself. Alright guys, so to finish off, honestly, we don't want to turn out to any incidents where we see any of you guys. Enjoy the night, enjoy it with your families. And just want to touch on one final thing, and I know everyone keeps going about final, what the police inspector talked about. The implications do have on people. So in this area you will have people who are elderly, okay, who don't like bonfire night. Okay, you might have grandmothers, grandfathers. Imagine the impact you're going to have on them guys. Okay, I've had it in my area. Okay, there's people who've got dementia, got illnesses, and they don't need this at night, do they? Bangers thrown in the garden and all the rest of it. They're already not well. Okay, so just think about that. Have a really good time, enjoy it. You know, go out, have a bit of a laugh and joke, but go to organised events. There's plenty in Bradford to go to. Right, don't waste your money on bangers, cheap bangers from these shops and all that. Go to a proper bonfire night and enjoy it. Okay. Any questions from anybody? Good stuff. Thank you for your time. Thank you.
See, that point comes up again about choices. The choice that you make as well. Again, we will just reinforce that point again. The choice that you made to be here, to be in a situation, in the surrounding, to be classed as ambassadors for this area as well. You're not only doing your boxing coach here proud, but also your families and your friends and your colleagues and everybody else. And I'm sure the police and the fire service, ambulance service as well, and the local school teachers will be very proud of that as well. You know, I think PCSO John wants to say something. Yeah,
which I was happy about.
So I can't forget about you.
Yeah, I had a long and a short version, but I've decided only a short because Mr. Rowley and his friends keep eyeballing me and they want to hit some bags, so I don't want to be hit at. Okay, so literally, I've been around Manningham Girl in 5 years. Okay, do I like a robot? That's how I always start my things. Don't say yes. Don't like a robot? No. Does my inspector put a chip in the back of my neck? Okay, I go walk around for 10 hours, tell people off, take it out, I go like this at the police station, then I wake up when he puts a chip back in. No? Yeah. Am I a human being? Yes. Yeah? Okay, I'm a human being. I have family. Okay? Alright, like you guys do. We are the same. Okay? Simple as that. Alright? Now, when fire officer, paramedic and my boss are basically saying to you about fireworks and everything else, first thing that comes to mind is, am I going to get home safe? Is my colleague going to get home safe? Because constantly, all the time, fireworks are pinging at us just because one little boy or little girl think it's funny to throw a firework. Okay, my colleague the other day, we shook some lads off the bus because the music had some swear words in it, he got spat at. Okay, for no reason whatsoever. Just because they were getting chucked off a bus. Okay, I just don't get it. Alright, the council, along with the police and everybody else, but especially the council, are giving you guys no excuse, and the police and everybody else, no excuse with the heightened of health and safety and risk assessments now, no excuse to throw a firework. A, because of health and safety and assessment, okay, and also, probably say over a 7-day period, because it's on Tuesday and Wednesday, isn't it, Bonfire, okay, over a 7-day period with people doing it either end with each weekend, okay, with events, there's 2 or 3, I reckon, events every night. I reckon in Bradford, licensed events, at Myrtle Park at Bingley, or wherever it, you know, cricket grounds or wherever it suits, at social clubs, there's probably in the region of about 40 to 50. Probably, yeah. Okay? That gives you no excuse to go to these newsagents to go buy a firework. Admission there for kids will be in the region of £1 to £3. Okay? Adults, maybe £5. Okay? I caught a lad the other day with a backpack. He was ready to sell them on. £450 worth of fireworks in his backpack. He were really happy when I took them off him. And so were his parents. Obviously not. Okay? All he had to do was wait another 2 weeks, go to a bonfire, licensed, everything else by the council, £3. Thanks very much. Okay? And then, like they were saying before, fire service and everybody else, about not going to other jobs. The thing I touch on is when somebody thinks it's a good idea to throw a brick or a firework at a police vehicle or any sort of emergency vehicle. As soon as that's damaged, what we're going to do with it? Go get it fixed. Alright, that's great. That's another one off the road. Okay, I think last bonfire period, somewhere in the region of 20 police cars at the police station, I think only 12 were operational because of bricks and fireworks. And unfortunately, because of that, as the fire officer said, people die. End of. Okay, simple as that, people die. And who are the ones who have to go knock on those people's doors and families' doors? And I've had it, unfortunately, when my uncle passed away about 7-8 years ago. and my brother had to listen to that on the police radio that his uncle had passed away. Okay, and he came with his sergeant, came crying into our room, come downstairs, I've got something to tell you. Okay, and they knocked on the door and told us our uncle had died. Not a nice feeling. And unfortunately, we have to go in and do that in people's houses, just for one firework or one brick. And some elderly people in here will tell you in the community, when it were the Bradford riots, okay, in 2001, one person threw one brick and they got somewhere in the region, what, 5 to 10 years in prison for one brick. Petrol bomb, probably 10 to 15. One thing. Okay? Just one little decision. Okay? So the decision you have to think is it worth it? And no. And coming back to the grassing on what people have said, grassing up, you're not grassing up. I don't know where this grassing up comes from. You're not grassing up, you're telling the truth. You're not grassing up, you're telling the truth. Okay? You see me, okay, come up to me, we'll go for a walk somewhere, we'll go for a chat away from the people you don't want to be there with, or we'll meet up a later time and date, parents involved, whatever, with the newsagents with the fireworks, because that's where it starts. It starts in these warehouses, they get the fireworks from these warehouses, and they get them to the newsagents, and that's where it all starts. Now I'm guessing, Inzy, everybody's over the age of 10 in here, aren't they? Yes. Everyone's over the age of 10? Yes. Right, everybody in this room can be arrested. Simple as that, over the age of 10. And I can't stress that enough. The lad the other day who spat at my colleague, he was at a certain age where he was arrested and he was crying in custody and asked for his mummy. I tell you now, anybody here, you'll be doing exactly the same. Okay? Because you all think you're big and hard when you're out there, or some of you do, hopefully not you guys in here, because you're in here, okay, and not out there, or Inzy will be looking for you, okay? But when you get down to custody, and you're in not a very big cell, and the mattress is about that thick, or what you're on now, okay, you're going to be asking for your mum and dad. Okay, so just think about it. Is it worth it? No, and is it worth it? And tell the truth. We will look after you if you tell the truth. We care about you, okay? Well, just because we've got this uniform on, we don't walk around with carpets under our arms thinking we can't speak to you. We care, we're human beings, we have feelings. Okay? Just don't do it. Be in here. Because I think around the bonfire period, from what I was saying earlier, I think I might be coming to see Inzy during the week, and I think we might be walking around together with my mate with his hood up. Okay? Alright, okay? And we'll be straight out to you. Alright? Okay? Sorted. Brilliant. Alright guys, stay safe.
Listen, John. Yo, I got that wrong. It's not an overcoat. He actually wears a Batman cloak.
Put his arm like that.
We've had a lot of people speaking to you today as well. So we've had a lot of people speaking to you today.
I think what the gaffer, I think the lads want to get cracking.
No, I'm just about to say now, you've heard a lot of people speak as well, you know, and I think for us to stop us so you can continue your boxing, I'm going to ask 4 or 5 of you, what was the key message from today? Either you put your hand up or tell me, or I'll pick you up. Yeah? So, go on, yeah, very
think about your actions.
Think about action, very good.
Stay safe.
Stay safe, very good.
One mistake can ruin your life.
One mistake can ruin your life, very good. Anything else? Come on this side, sorry?
Don't play with fire.
Don't play with fires, yeah. Yeah, same thing.
Take care of yourself.
Take care, very good. Excellent. Anything?
Fire was probably noise support.
Yeah. And just imagine the consequences of that, no? Very good. You make the right choice, well done.
Respect police. Important.
Very good.
Brilliant.
Inzy, you also? Yeah. Okay, give yourself a round of applause.